Jim Carragher admitted after the game, Manchester United will win the cup. Manchester United beat Barcelona in the Europa League to qualify for the next round. The praise continues to come to Manchester United, who eliminated Barcelona, which is shown as the hardest team in the Europa League. Speaking to Sky Sports after the match, Jim Carragher said, "It's not easy to eliminate a team like Barcelona in form, but years later I started seeing the old Manchester United. Yes, Manchester United have been hungry for success for years, and together with Erik ten Hag it looks like they will end the hunger. So what is your opinion on this? Do you think we can win the trophy?" Report from Italy says Manchester United could sign Kim Min-jae. Min-jae Kim is reportedly on their shortlist, having impressed in his debut season at Napoli. The 26-year-old has made 30 appearances in all competitions since joining from Fenerbahce last summer, scoring 2 goals with 1 assist. Jones' contract expires in the coming months and is not expected to stay beyond the summer, so Ten Hag is looking to sign a player instead. Corriere dello Sport said Kim has a €48 million release fee, but United only have 2 weeks to sign him at that price, so they'll have to act fast. If the Red Devils wait, Napoli will hold all the cards in negotiations. The Serie A leaders have Kim tied down until 2025, so they won't be obligated to cash in early or for cheap. So brave, Erik ten Hag says Manchester United duo don't fear anyone after Barcelona win. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag was impressed by Antony and Alejandro Garnacho's second-half performances against Barcelona in the Europa League. The Red Devils advanced to the last 16 with a stunning 2-1 comeback win over Blaugrana at Old Trafford yesterday. Barcelona blocked shots from Alejandro Garnacho and Fred in quick succession, but the rebound fell into the path of Antony on the right flank, who capitalized on his chance. It was definitely a moment of redemption for the summer signing, who has had a tough couple of months in the United shirt, having made a fantastic start to his career early on. Antony hasn't played any competitive football in the past 2 weeks due to his leg injury, but he has shown no signs of rusting and looks like the player from his Ajax days. Meanwhile, Garnacho produced another lively display on the left wing. He came on for Jadon Sancho shortly after the hour mark and played a key part in the winner. Speaking after the match, Ten Hag was pleased with the duo's performance. He said that Antony and Garnacho were very brave and daring and were not afraid of anyone. Ten Hag said, "It's part of my game plan. We know that if we win Antony, we win Alejandro Garnacho." Xavi identifies key reason Barcelona lost to Manchester United in Europa League playoff. Xavi claimed the loss of Pedri and Gavi was key to Barcelona's defeat to Manchester United on Thursday night. The 2-1 defeat at the hands of the Red Devils at Old Trafford meant the leaders in La Liga were beaten 4-3 on aggregate and were eliminated from the Europa League. Barca had led at halftime due to a Robert Lewandowski penalty, but a second-half fight-back from United saw Fred and Antony grab decisive goals. The Catalan club found it more difficult to create chances in the second leg than they did at Nou Camp last week. That could be explained by the absences of Pedri and Gavi, with the latter suspended, while Gavi was replaced in the 2-2 draw last week with an injury that ruled him out of the reverse fixture. When asked if the absence of Xavi, Gavi and Pedri affected your game, he said, "Gavi and Pedri are the brains of our game. If they were, we could have achieved different results." Manchester United told to sign Alexander Mitrovic as replacement for Wout Weghorst. Manchester United signed Wout Weghorst on loan in January, but the 30-year-old has gone on to score 1 goal with 1 assist from 12 games in all competitions, so the Red Devils are expected to sign a prolific centre-forward in the summer transfer window. Tim Sherwood believes Erik ten Hag should consider Fulham forward Alexander Mitrovic. Tim Sherwood said, "If Weghorst can play for Manchester United then so can Mitrovic. The manager wants a 9 and I think they go for a big one in the summer, a standout number 9 in Europe whoever that may be." Mitrovic joined Newcastle United for £22 million from Fulham in 2018, making 198 appearances, 107 goals and 22 assists across all competitions. The Serbian international has been outstanding in the last 2 years, netting 43 goals with 7 assists in 44 championship games last season and scoring 11 goals with 2 assists from 19 Premier League games this campaign, so he's in the best form of his career. Anthony Martial is unlikely to be a regular striker next season as he has a shortage of fitness and playing time. Marcus Rashford is also more effective on the side, so Erik ten Hag will need a natural striker. It's little wonder Sherwood thinks Mitrovic could shine at Manchester United given his impressive return, but the Red Devils are likely to have a lot of names on their shortlist. MUTV pundit comments on Marcus Rashford injury v Barcelona and makes cup final prediction. Manchester United striker Marcus Rashford failed to complete the match against Barcelona. While he was the star at the new camp last week, the tie at Old Trafford was a game where his teammates stepped up instead. And that's a good thing. No team should be totally reliant on one player. There might just be a little nervousness, however, about Rashford's fitness. Former Manchester United striker Dion Dublin spoke to MUTV as a studio pundit after the victory and discussed Rashford. He said he suspects Rashford may have suffered an injury, and although he didn't know how serious it could be, he was optimistic that the striker could play in the Carabao Cup final at Wembley. United stand a better chance if Marcus Rashford is available. Club and player will be doing everything possible to get the club's top scorer fit and ready to play. Fred proved Xavi right with Manchester United masterclass against Barcelona. The last time Manchester United hosted Barcelona in a European game, they switched to a back five, but for both legs this time, they stuck with the formation they know best. It might not seem like much, but it shows how much more belief they have under Erik ten Hag that they aren't adapting their approach to limit their opponents and are instead focused on embracing their own attacking talents. It seems like ten Hag really decided on his approach for the bigger games when they didn't expect United to dominate the proceedings by focusing on distracting the opponents and choking them in the midfield. Casemiro's presence is of paramount importance to the tactic, and so is the selection of Fred alongside him, given his traits as a pressing midfielder with a tireless work rate. United were ready from the start as they pressured with real intensity and gave their opponents almost no time with the ball. Despite their setback as the halftime progressed, Antony's arrival at the break helped them find it again as they did what they do best in the biggest matches. There were a few raised eyebrows ahead of the match when Xavi identified Fred as one of the 4 main United danger men to watch out for. He will wish he wasn't right. What was even more impressive though was the continued energy and enterprise he offered in the middle of the park, running himself into the ground for the greater good of his team. Gavi and Pedri might have both been missing from the first meeting, but the returning Sergio Busquets was colossal, and Frenkie de Jong was excellent in the engine room. The Dutch midfielder would get a lot of attention given ten Hag's overt chasing after him last summer, and after a brilliant performance it's clear to see why.